Hey everyone, I'm Emeka coming at you here, and I'm so excited to sit down with Natasha and Marco, the Motinos, from the Motinos, from the YouTube channel, the Power Couple, and we are going to talk about, their journey on building their online business, exactly what they're going to be talking about on their channel. It's definitely something you want to check out if you're married, if you're in a relationship, if you got a family, or you want to find out more what's this whole family life about. Definitely want to stay tuned for this interview. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Great to have you here.
What's up, Emeka? It's nice to be back.
Great to be here.
It's nice to be here with Natasha too.
Yeah,
cool.
Marco, you're no stranger to the channel, but Natasha, this is the first time for you. So excited to have you here. I believe you guys are actually my first couple or first like two people interview that I've ever done.
Nice.
So yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes, so
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so let's dive into it. Well, to start off, I want to know how and why you decided to start an online business, because why don't we just start with that? So take it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of got you into the whole online business world?
All right. So the initial reason for me was just something different than what I was doing day to day.
Okay.
So yeah, like I want to have like a side hustle, earn income separately from like what we were working on or what I was working on at the time. So that was the initial reason. And that got me started, but eventually it turned to, I want freedom.
Okay.
And Mark would always come at me and be like, Nat, like there's this new way we can make money, this and that. Like he'd always find like different things that we could do to make more money than what we were
doing originally, like in our jobs.
Yeah. Like he was just always just looking for money, chasing
it. He was just always chasing money. Now, Marco, what were you doing before you before you started the online business?
Okay, so a couple of things. So okay, I graduated. I got a job in my position in the field.
What field was it?
The software development and software engineering.
Okay.
And so I worked there for a bit. I wasn't too satisfied because I'm the type of guy, at least when it comes to that industry, I actually like to go and write code and solve problems and stuff like that. There was a little bit of that, but there was a lot more of like just using other people's software to get stuff done. So I wasn't too happy. I decided to leave. And at the same time, I opened up a different business with my brother. He was in roofing.
Yeah.
He asked me to partner up with him to run the business side of things, and he would just do the roofing side of things. Did that for a year. At the same time, I was working for a startup.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was probably the toughest year of our life, for sure.
Why is that?
Business-wise, like ton of issues, very stressful. Like every night was a sleepless night.
Loads of money, just like not getting paid from
it
customers. It's just a really corrupt industry.
It was
really
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I left. My brother completely understood. He knew that wasn't my passion. He's still running it, and for him, they were doing quite well, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So no hard feelings, nothing like that. So, and then at that point, that's when I got into the whole transformational thing, changing mindset, looking for opportunities that were separate from what I was doing, because I was still working for the startup. But yeah, that's kind of what I was doing prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you knew you wanted more money or more whatever, right? How did you find, like, what made you think, oh, well, I could probably make money online? Like, Natasha, did you have any experience online, or were you were running your own business at this point?
I also own a dog grooming salon.
Okay.
I have groomers there now, so I don't have to actively be there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I had that. But at the time, I was pregnant, so I was like starting to like wean off of work.
Okay.
So when he started looking into the whole online thing, I was kind of like, it was a jump for me. But I was
very
working.
uncertain.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marco, what led you to the online decision?
Okay, so I
You were
can't
looking
really.
for passive income online. That's how it started.
Yeah, I wanted again. It was something that had to be separate from what I was doing.
Right.
Just because like work overload and stuff and
Yeah.
repeating over. But that's a good question. Why online? Like I can't really pinpoint exactly. I know how I found Kindle publishing. That I can pinpoint, and that was from FBA. FBA was the first thing I found.
Right.
Which we tried. We tried that.
Yeah.
You did try it.
Yeah. We did.
We
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
And actually, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's not like we failed like dramatically. We made some money, very little, not a lot.
Yeah.
But then we just decided, you know what, Kindle, because the expense,
the upfront was way more.
Massive. It's totally.
And then you have to deal with like China importing
brokers and supplies, and so way more. Yeah.
So we made the decision, stick to Kindle.
Okay.
And you took Stefan's course too before Emeka's.
Yes.
Yeah. We probably maybe we met there. Right? We might have met.
We did. I remember you. The first month I was there, I think it was like in May, his paid monthly. You were like student of the month or something.
Yeah. So we might have even chatted. Yeah. It'd be funny to go through that. Like, I'm clearly not in the Facebook group. I doubt you are either. But it'd be cool if we could go back, or if Ed was watching, if you're in K Money Master, for full disclosure, if you could find our old posts, if you and me, like, if we talked ever.
Yeah, that would be
right.
interesting.
It'd be kind of cool to see those, from just way back in the day, like
way back. That's like the very
when we were both kind of just figuring out this whole publishing thing. It'd be kind of cool to see that those first couple conversations that we had compared to now the relationship that that we have now, right? That's
totally different. Yeah,
it'd be so crazy to see. So
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So then you found the online thing, and then so you started a bit with FBA. Was that a joint effort, or Marco, were you kind of like?
He took the reins on it. Like can we say what we started with?
Oh yeah, the product?
Yeah, so we started with that fidget cube that was like really popular back in the day. I think we actually have one here anyway.
Fidget cube?
It's like a fidget toy. Like how like you fidget.
You know the spinners?
Yeah.
Spinners that are really popular now?
Yeah.
Well, before that, it was a cube and it had like different sides on it. Mark found it and we ended up ordering how many?
Just 100 units.
It was 100? I thought we ordered more after.
No, or it might have been 200 actually.
And we actually sold quite a few of them, but then it died out and we had all this inventory.
We had about, I think, 80 left, but the what sold, we still we didn't lose money.
Yeah.
Right.
So we made back what we put in.
You made back your money. Do you still have inventory of those?
Yeah. No, we got rid of it. Amazon gives you an option to just get rid of inventory. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, now, Natasha, what were your initial thoughts when Marco came to you with, hey, I'm going to do this business. I'm going to order some products from China and then I'm going to sell them on Amazon and we're going to make a lot of money? Because I know what Mariana's initial thoughts were, but what was it like from you? Because it'd be kind of interesting to see what yours was.
Okay. So I've been with Marco for almost 10 years now. And since I've been with him, Marco has hopped from idea to idea. So when he told me about this idea, I kind of looked at him and I was like, okay. I was supportive, but I wasn't supportive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was kind of.
You were being the wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're I got you, but.
You want to start this and I have your baby cooking. You know what I mean? But overall, I mean, what am I going to say? I wasn't thrilled. I didn't have a passion to do it. But I followed his lead, which is kind of what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And that led us to the FBA. And now we're doing Kindle, which it's amazing. That was all him.
Well, I got started, but then he
was the push. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah. Right.
He was the push. And he was persistent and he used tactics like you're really good at this. So why don't you try doing
I don't know
that?
if it's tactics.
No, it's a tactic.
It makes it seem like
That's awesome, man. I did the same thing with Mariana when I started with the books. Right? It's like, hey, you know how to use Photoshop. What if you help make covers?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I got it started with the.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I got started with the children's books, was because he was like, why don't you just do that on your spare time that the baby's asleep? And I was
so did you start publishing technically before Marco?
Yeah. Not before, no. We did it at the same time. We did 2 books. She decided on 1 book. I decided on 1. And that's how we did it.
Yeah.
Cool.
My book was a fail, by the way. Just my first book.
Join the club.
My book wasn't any better. So.
All right. So then let's fast forward a few months. Okay. Now publishing is starting to work out. Your books are no longer failing. You're figuring things out. Maybe by this point, Marco, you're in the blueprint. We've started working together. Money's starting to slowly come in. Thoughts on the business? How did things start looking, compared to when you first started?
Mm-hmm. Well, when we first started, there was a lot of points where we almost gave up. We're like, it's not working. I don't know if I want to put any more effort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
was this with publishing or FBA, or just
publishing?
Okay.
Yeah.
FBA, like it was like 1 month with FBA.
Yeah, we didn't stick with that for very long.
Yeah.
So publishing, there's the thoughts of giving up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we had books that were doing really well, and then other books that weren't doing well, and it was because we weren't following. We made mistakes before we found like your course, and
yeah, and the thing was too, like we had an envision for a certain income, and we saw all these people achieve it, and we weren't getting there. And we're like, man, like maybe not for us.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the biggest thing for me, is because I wasn't seeing the results I was expecting.
Right.
So it was very like demotivating, I guess you could say.
Marco, why didn't you give up? Like, why didn't you just throw in the towel?
I don't know. I knew I could do it. I had to kind of, I guess, prove it to myself that it was possible. And because I was seeing everybody else doing it, I'm like, if everybody else can do it, there's got to be a way that I can figure it out. And then, that's when we ran into your course. I think this was in October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, to add to that, is when he joined your course, I noticed, like, through your mentorship and everything, like he changed, like
Marco changed.
Yeah, he changed. Like, he had that support from you and people in the group, and he met people, which you guys are
much different,
friends now today. But like, it changed him because he had that support, and I noticed that he was way more confident. He wasn't doubting himself as much,
right?
Which obviously made a huge difference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that support system, when you start doing this business, or really any business, or really anything, when you start doing it with friends, it just changes how you do it. Like, right? It makes it more fun. It makes it more enjoyable. That
you don't feel like you're alone, or
right. Yeah.
Totally. Like, before he had me to pick my brain, but
it's different.
It's
right.
Like, he did that.
Yeah, because it's I explain this, like, when when I went to LA, Mariana was questioning, it's like, why do you got to go early? Why do you have to stay later? Don't spend time with family. But I'm like, babe, you got to understand, I'm going there to connect and hang out with the people that I'm building businesses with. We go there, we talk, we inspire each other. We are better together when we hang out, right? It's just, it's kind of like a cheat to speed things up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, talking like this, like, or when we call each other on Facebook, that's one thing, but like hanging out and having those conversations, and it's completely different.
Totally different.
right? So, and I think that's what it's like joining a community of people who are doing what you're doing online and connecting with them. And, think about how much faster we've all started growing now that we've kind of all
connected,
right? And we're talking on a regular basis. We have weekly calls on a regular basis now. We all are growing 10 times faster because we're doing this together.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So now you've been in the Blueprint. We've started working together. You were, believe, my longest running student on the accelerator.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
And now, okay, so then things really start picking up. You start doing a few grand with publishing, and then you start thinking, it's like, man, I can really build more from Amazon, right? I don't have to just publish. I could, there's other areas that I see I could do better than what some other people are doing, right? Same thing
Right.
I did with the course, right? I said, you know what? There's some good info, but I could do better. And so you started doing that. So you built another business.
Yes.
Dasha, what were your thoughts when he wanted to build that second business?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. Actually, he brought up the idea, and within I want to say 48 hours, he was already interviewing people to get started.
Wow.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said it, I was like, yes, let's get this going, because it's just,
it made sense.
It made sense based on the industry that we're in.
Yeah. I think I got the idea, and then I went to work right away. And then I think maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks, it was live.
Yeah,
and ready.
completely live and ready.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is the Urban Writers.
This is the Urban Writers,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know it grew that fast. I didn't know it came together that quickly.
Very fast.
Yeah. I mean, I had people already. I needed obviously more writers, but I had writers at the time.
Right.
That was the whole dilemma, was I couldn't use any other company, any writing company, because my experience with them was just so bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not so much it was the written content was okay, but the customer service was just,
that was a huge
awful.
Oh my God, their customer service is horrible.
If you
it's it's your fault that there's an issue.
Yeah.
Not there.
And
right.
the problem is that if you need an edit for your book and you're not guaranteed that, it's not a good feeling going into it. So we wanted to create that through the Urban Writers.
Yeah.
We wanted people to trust us, to be like, okay, I'm paying you to find someone to write my book, but if I have an issue with it, I can come to you and you're going to help me with that. And that's what we wanted our business to be around. Yeah.
It's a lot like Uber Eats, the Urban Writers. Okay. Do you guys have Uber Eats in Toronto?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
You do, huh? That's one thing I'll miss when we go to Vancouver. Hopefully they get there together. And
Vancouver doesn't have Uber Eats?
bro, man, Vancouver, their mayor,
Wow.
you're ever watching this, you moron? Get yours together. No, they don't want Uber to come in because,
Really?
because
Not
they
even Uber itself. Just
Uber itself is not even there.
wow.
What am I supposed to take a cab? Ew. Right?
Dude, Uber is so convenient. It's not even
Uber is one of the best things to ever happen to the transportation industry.
Yeah, man. I agree with that.
And it's so upsetting that, the cab drivers, because they refuse to change and update and, clean their cabs, that all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're going out of business. Yeah.
Clean their cab.
Well, when was the last time you were in a clean cab? So, because I remember, Mark, in my first experience, and I was like, no, I want to go through the full process. I want to place the order and I want to do that. And just getting the emails, knowing, your order's been received. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Your book is being assigned to a writer. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, I remember getting so surprised every time I got an update. Your book is finished, is being placed to our editors, or whatever that other email is. And I was just I was blown away at how I was kept in the loop every single step. And the confidence it gave me to know exactly where my book was, versus placing an order and then in 2.5-3 weeks, boom, I got my book. But the 2.5, 3 weeks, I'm wondering, is like,
You're like,
has the writer quit, or is it being written? Is it finished? Is it like, or like finding out
what's
at
going
2.5
on?
weeks,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, one of our writers quit. We had to assign it to somebody else. It'll be 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
The urban writers. So, and I'll have links down below, so anybody can check that out. Okay, cool. How did things really start changing over the summer? Now that the other businesses, you started another business because you're freaking insane.
Yeah, I have an issue, I guess.
Yeah. So Mark.
Like that was my first reaction. It was like, wait, he's doing another thing, and
I guess I can't help it. I've always been this way, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, jumping from thing to thing. The difference is now he's focusing on that one thing before he jumps on to the next, right?
Right. They're not suffering.
No, they're not suffering.
Right. And that's good because but so now you started the third business. Has the name changed? It's still AMS Profit Formula, or is it?
No. Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
But we're rebranding it, but now we're actually going to join it with the Urban Writers.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
On the webpage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ads, your ad course.
Yeah.
So you started that. And what I love about those two things, they've completely changed the industry. You're giving publishers the ability to get phenomenal customer service from a writing company and get high quality books at a really, really reasonable price. But then now you're showing them how to successfully run ads to their books so they could spend $1 and make $3. And
exactly.
Right. And it's been awesome. Okay, so going through the summer, how did your lives start changing over the summer? Like, think back to what was going on as you were growing the businesses, and all of a sudden they started getting busier and they started making more money. How did that start affecting life at home?
We actually, one thing that happened is we really started to see that the goals that we've set the year before, last year, were achievable with everything going on, and our confidence just kept going up and up. One thing that did have to happen is we did slow down a bit on the publishing side.
Yeah.
We released some books over the summer, but we really slowed down. I haven't looked at publishing, either of us. She has a book that's complete that's not published yet because she can't focus on it.
It's a children's book, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I got a program that solves that.
Yeah. Actually, we're part of that program. We requested our own VA to be trained.
Right.
It's almost ready. I'm so excited.
She, right? Is it
she?
Girl?
Yeah,
she?
yeah.
So she's almost fully trained?
Almost, yeah. So that's one thing we're excited about.
So that'll help.
You can start. Cool. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
So that's one thing we kind of had to slow down on.
And that totally makes sense.
Cool.
The urban writers, it took some time. There was times where we even were skeptical about the urban writers because it took time to pick up as well.
Yeah.
Especially since our prices were more than our competitors.
Yep.
But
what have you learned about pricing?
We learned
quality over quantity.
We learned that
people will pay for quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being the cheapest is a dumb business model.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can say it.
Yeah. No, it is.
Right.
What I think really transformed us this summer, though, was when we went to Cancun for the first time for your mastermind event. Yeah, because we met, we put a face to everybody.
Well, slightly after summer, but yeah, that was.
Dude, summer doesn't really end until after the mastermind. Let's be real.
But that was the conference that really turned everything for us, and things just took off after that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Connection.
What happened? What were some of the things?
Well, we got to meet a ton of amazing people, connected with them, you know, got to talk a bit about our services, their services, and we made that connection, that trust connection that's important in a business. And we got to showcase the value that we're bringing, and people saw that and they trusted that, and that's what led to the growth that we saw after Cancun.
Yeah. Like, I think like where we were going with that is that after that trip, because we made all those connections, like our business like took off because people were like, they were showcasing our business on their channels or whatever. But I don't know if that's appropriate for this.
Yeah,
so.
you got to know us. You got to build trust with us, which led to that jump.
So, okay, now fast forward to October 2018.
Okay.
The business now brings in almost $40,000 US. Being Canadian, that's like 55 grand or so. Right?
Yeah.
$55,000 Canadian. I don't know what the average wage is in Canada, but I bet it's less than that a year.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually 50, pretty close. Yeah, it's like 50 a year. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are on top of things. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, whatever. You did that in a month.
Yeah,
most people do that in 12 months. Okay.
Yeah.
How has that month shifted your mindset, your beliefs, your goals, your dreams, everything? Like, what has happened over that 12 months from $300 to, to 40 grand or so?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sometimes it's surreal, you don't, and then you think about like things that you couldn't afford before and you're like, oh, but yeah, right. Like we made, whatever, you know what I mean? So we have to work on that a little bit, but it's been a crazy journey.
It has
thus far.
Like a lot more confident now in terms of money, bringing in money. We don't really worry about buying stuff. Like, we're just like, you want that? Okay, yeah, we'll buy it, whatever. Yeah. It's not like an issue anymore. We don't have to worry about money. That's gone. That's out of the table.
Right.
It's complete change. Like, complete. It's so big that it's hard to express.
Right.
And we're just getting started too. That's like the part that's like surreal, is that who knows where we could take this.
Who knows where we could be next October.
Well, 6 figures a month.
Yeah. And that's that's the goal.
Right. Like I know we've spoken about this, but doing 6 figures a month is kind of like the main goal for 2019 is to start breaking 6-figure months.
Yes.
Right.
That's And when that happens, it's going to be the same thing. Like, what's the next? Now we're going to go to 7 figures a month. Right? It's never going to end.
Right. And so what about some of your goals or dreams? How have things shifted? How have things become more clear? Because I know when we really started, like, I'm staring at my whiteboard and, it's in the last 48 hours, we've made what we made in February.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. And we, from our experience, all of a sudden, like, we want to go move to Italy for a month. That's now it's not a matter of like, how can we do that? It's just, okay, well, when should we just put that in our calendar and buy tickets and go? The fact that, I could go to LA, hang out with you guys for a bit. I just bought, do I have flight? No, I don't have flights for Miami yet, but I'm going. Natasha, you're coming as well, right? 10X?
I am, yeah.
Right. The fact that I can do that now and just, you don't have to think about it. You can just like, oh yeah, cool. So there's an event going, San Diego, there's another event. Like, you can go without worrying about it. Has been a big, man, this is really cool. This is what I've always seen other successful people being able to do. And now I'm able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have any of your goals or dreams that you thought it's like, oh, one day? So now it's like, okay, when should we just do it?
Yeah. You know what? Interestingly enough, I set a goal when I first started this, because that was one of the things that I was taught to do, like after like doing reading and all that stuff, was to set goals. And I set a goal of making someone's yearly salary monthly, which was actually 50 grand. And we just pretty much did that in October. And that was pretty crazy because I forgot about that. I forgot that I set that. It was just one of those things that I wanted to do when I first got started in all this. And now looking back, it's pretty insane how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. But now like our goals are totally different compared to when we first started.
Right.
Right. And I feel like that's always gonna happen as we grow.
Totally.
Our goals are gonna change. Right. Things that we want to accomplish. And looking back like 5 years before, if you asked me, I'd be doing this.
Yeah,
I think you're crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is like as much work as we put into it, it wasn't as hard as people think it is to get here. If you dedicate time and put in the effort, you're gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with like all the resources that they have online now through like,
many.
publishing books, affiliate marketing. Like you don't have to do anything once it's out there. I mean, you have to
maintain it and
maintain, but you're not
things. Yeah, it's like it's definitely a lot easier today to make money than it was back.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get easier.
Yeah.
Like, that's my belief. I think making money will only become easier for people as technology advances and new opportunities come up, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's always going to be plenty of opportunity. You just have to be willing to put in the work and the sacrifice and commit. You just gotta. Yeah.
I think committing is the hardest thing for people.
Yeah.
Right.
And lack of support
I think
too. I think
commitment and self-belief. Believing that you can. I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, in my opinion. That's just what I see.
Yeah.
People just don't believe they can do it.
But even like before we met, like, everyone that we have that's helped us along the way, we had a lot of people who just thought that we were dreamers and we weren't going to get to where we were.
Really?
And
that's pretty common.
Yeah, but that was like our closest people to us.
Yeah, and I feel like that's common though, because that's a story I hear all the time.
It'll be interesting. I've thought a lot about this. When we left Canada, we were like 50 grand in debt, had no money, weren't really enjoying things. When we go back, we're going to be buying a house. Okay. And not like a 200,000, like $700,000-$800,000 house, a nice house. My parents haven't had a house since I was 3 that they owned. I'm gonna buy the wife the Range Rover.
Yeah,
I want one of those too.
Marco, step it up, bro. We can have they can have matching Range Rovers. And no, she doesn't have good taste. I have good taste for her. I'm buying her the Range Rover. Yeah, I'm, you know how it is. So, but it'll be hers. There's a whole long-term plan for that. It's like, if I get her that vehicle, then I get the next one, right? It's like, yeah. Nice. So, but like, my close friends and family, it'll be really interesting to see, right? Because none of them are in the online space.
So it'll be like a huge shock.
It'll be a huge shock. Like, and it's not like, I have to go around talking about the income, but when we talk about the business and it's doing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, American, boom, somebody else just got the course, right? Maybe this could be our first $40,000 month.
Amazing, dude.
Right. American, like, you guys kind of like, I ain't gonna lie. When you sent your income report to the group and I saw it, I was like, oh, that's awesome for him. Fuck. I'm not leaving it away anymore. I really got to step my shit up. Like, because I just feel like I'm the quote unquote supposed to be the leader. You know what I mean? It's like, so I just, and that's good because it's forcing me to step up big time this month because I want to,
Yeah.
And,
a way to push yourself, man.
To 100%.
That's why we have these.
It's right. It's healthy competition. We all make more money. So,
exactly.
But like, it'll be really interesting when we go back, I was telling Mariana, our publishing business, literally does $100,000 to $120,000 a year without me looking at one thing anymore.
Yeah.
And that's
actually that's something I wanted to mention.
That's
right?
one business.
We haven't touched publishing, and we're still bringing in about $4,000.
Right. So 4,000. So that's what, 4 times 12, 48.
Yeah, and that's American, and that's so in Canadian that's close to $5,000.
So what's 5 times 12? 60 grand. So that's a $60,000 business, Canadian, that you don't have to look at, and you boom, 60 grand. So what somebody's going to work for 40 hours a week, 50 weeks in a year, 2 weeks holiday, they're spending more time with their work colleagues than they are their own friends and family, their own flesh and blood. You do that, you make that without even looking at the business. You can literally play video games all day long. Or true. Play with your kid and hang out with Natasha.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to make what they're going to be making slaving away at a job for 8 hours a day, every single day for the entire year.
Yeah.
Anyone watching this, that needs to be a wake-up call. Like, people should be like, oh wait, there's more to this. So yeah, I've often thought about, what's it going to be like when I'm with my friends and family, and like life is going to be different. Like, things are just,
totally
like
different. Yeah.
It's funny. I don't want to get off topic, but it happens. But my parents was like, hey, when you buy a house, you have to do the lawn. I just thought, no, they have landscaping companies that'll come and do that shit for me. I don't have to cut anything, right? Like, we're talking about having a live-in nanny. I'm like, no, it's just why cook for yourself if we can just have somebody come and cook and clean and do all that shit for you?
Yeah, and just focus on what you care about.
On what you care about, what you want to do. And that's the whole point of making money. So you can live life and not work to pay bills, but to work to grow your family, to work to give them the lifestyle that you want to give them. So they can, Mariana keeps saying, it's like, I just love being able to go to the store and buy whatever I want in the store. Of course, within reason. But like, she can go in and buy whatever she wants for the kids. And like, she bought a $600 Lazy Boy recliner a few months ago.
Nice.
Didn't even ask me. And she's made it clear, it's like, God, no, you cannot spend that type of money without asking. But, but she didn't have to ask. And she's like, you have no idea the confidence that gave me. And like, it was a drop in the bucket. Like, it didn't affect anything. She knew we could pay for it. Like,
yeah,
that is just like, that is so powerful for families.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Talking about the power couple. What are you guys going to be talking about on your channel?
So the 3 things that we're going to focus on is mindset, business, particularly online, and relationship. So how to work with your partner and stuff like that. Yeah.
So like breaking those 3 things down really detailed. Yeah.
And just show people how to do it. Right. I think for example, I firmly believe that if I didn't tackle my mindset, I wouldn't have achieved success in anything that I've been doing thus far.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. Because you would have looked at too many limiting beliefs or too many reasons why this wouldn't work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we thoroughly enjoy working together. I mean, there's times where we don't.
Clash. There's no. Yeah.
Oh, really? There are? Because you guys seem like you just work.
No, we're not perfect, man.
Keep telling Mariana. It's like, we need to be more like Marco and Natasha when we right?
Like, even recording our first video, we were going at it for quite some time, wasting time on mundane stuff.
I want to see this in bloopers.
Oh,
we will.
Yeah.
We'll put things together. We'll make it happen. Because we need to show people that it's
not always perfect.
Yeah. No,
but it is doable and achievable. So, and it's so much more fun when you can do it with your partner, because then you guys have the same goals and you're aligned with where you're going in the future, right? Like next year, we really want to do some traveling, and it took him a bit of time to get me on board on that, just because of like the fear of traveling with a baby. But
really?
Yeah, like I have that fear.
Like what's the fear or what?
I think just like based on where we're going, like it's just stupid things
Portugal?
that moms worry about.
It's just like
healthcare, and if we need help, like what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
If they have the right
like,
milk.
They have the right milk. Like
Sorry, Natasha, I had to bring that up.
I spent $40 on 12 juice boxes of milk that I brought over with me because I was afraid to use the milk in Mexico.
Oh, I wish I knew there. That's all good. Hey, you know what? Mariana is very similar in that retrospect. She likes to pre-check everything and make sure it's like, okay, if we're going there, is this taken care of, or so I could totally relate. And so the milk thing was definitely a new thing. Never heard of it before, but it's all good. It's all good.
We definitely like want to encourage more people to do things as like a united as a couple. Yeah.
I love that. And like I said, I'm super excited to watch more of your channel and learn more from you because, like I want Mariana to become more involved in the business and work with her more. But we've worked together before when I was running my like Cutco Vector office and she was my receptionist, and like, we kind of clashed a little bit, but this business is totally different. So I'm really, really excited. I'll probably be your biggest fan. Watching all your videos and learning from you, and maybe we'll be like a success story once this couple,
that'd be pretty sweet.
Now they're working together and their business is more powerful than ever, and
nice.
It's all good. So well, hey guys, thank you so much for spending some time talking with everybody and sharing your story and having some laughs. This has been an absolute blast. Make sure you check out all of the links to their companies, their website, and their channel in the description. And if you got any questions for these guys, make sure you just ask away in the comments. Guys, thanks again, and congratulations on your massive success over the last 12 months.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emeka. It was a pleasure.
Cool.